So the idea of a unit circle is a unit circle has a radius of 1. Okay, so that's what makes it a unit circle, 1 unit. All right, so a circle with radius of 1 unit. All right, and then when we draw the circle, we normally picture it on a coordinate plane, an x and y coordinate plane. All right, so although it's not drawn very well, that's what we're kind of looking at. The center's right in the middle of your origin, and then you have an x and y coordinate plane. Now, when we're working with this, I have a formula already here, x squared plus y squared equals 1. All right, this 1 represents your radius. Okay, and this is very similar to an equation of a circle that you might have talked about in algebra 2, excuse me. And then also, if we talk about it this way, what if I draw a triangle in here, okay, and specifically it's a right triangle, okay, and just think of that. What formula do we know about a right triangle that we've always learned? And that would be your Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, if c squared is your hypotenuse, isn't that your radius? Okay, so if your radius is 1, then c would be 1. We can call these x and y because instead of a and b, x would be your horizontal move, and then b would be your vertical move, and those fit on a coordinate plane. So just like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, we could call it x squared plus y squared equals 1. We could put a square there, but it doesn't matter. So then when we're working with this, again, this is on an x and y coordinate plane. We're showing that a point is on the plane. All right, so if we have a point that is an x value and a y value, and what we're going to do is we're going to plug in your x squared plus y squared equals 1, and we're going to see if it works. If it gives us a true statement, it's going to work. If it gives us a false statement, it doesn't work. All right, so when we work with this, and we're going to work quite a bit with radicals this year, we have radical 3 over 3 squared plus radical 6 over 3 squared, and does that equal 1? That's what we want to know. Remember, when we square radicals, we go radical 3 times radical 3, which is radical 9. Well, the square root of 9 is 3. And we also square the denominator. Okay, so 3 squared is 9 plus. Same thing here. We square the numerator and the denominator. Radical 6 times radical 6 is radical 36. Well, square root of 36 is 6. In the denominator, 3 squared is 9. That equals 1. 3 over 9 plus 6 over 9 is 9 over 9. And that equals 1. So 1 equals 1. So to finally answer it, is that point on the unit circle? Since it gave us an answer of 1, yes, point on unit circle. Again, if it was a false statement, if false, it would not be on the unit circle. Right? It's as simple as that using the formula. When we're working with the next problem, the point P is on the unit circle and is in quadrant 4. The x value is radical 3 over 2. Find the y value. Okay, so let's just think of this. If we have, and this is going to be more familiar in a bit, but we're in quadrant 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm over in quadrant 4. I know the x value is radical 3 over 2. Even if we don't know what that means, I go out radical 3 over 2. Find the y value. Okay, so we still have our triangle here. There's our right triangle. We still know this is 1. We know our x value is radical 3 over 2. Find the y value. we're going to use the same formula. The trick here is in quadrant 4, your y is negative because we went down. All right, so whatever value we find when it comes down to it, our final value is going to be negative. Okay, we're going to use this, we're going to use our x squared plus y squared equals 1 just the same way. We know the x value, so we're going to have radical 3 over 2 squared plus y squared. We don't know what y is, and we have 1. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of math. So that's okay, it's math class. We're going to square this. Radical 3 times radical 3 is radical 9. Square root of 9 is 3 over 4. 2 squared is 4. Plus y squared is 1. To solve, we subtract 3 over 4 over. Subtract 3/4 over. So when we make common denominators here, how can I rewrite 1 with a denominator of 4? We can rewrite that as 4 over 4. Because if I multiply the numerator and the denominator by 4, it gives me a common denominators. Minus 3/4. That gives me y squared equals 1/4. Finally, I take the square root. All right, don't worry. Yes, when we take a square root when we're solving, we get a plus and a minus. Okay, square root of 1 on the top is a 1. Square root of 4 on the bottom is 2. We do get plus and the minus, but we're worried about a specific one here. We're worried about quadrant 4. So the y value in quadrant 4 is negative. All right, so my final answer would be y would be negative 1/2. That would be your y value. Your x value being radical 3 over 2, your y value being negative 1/2.